Got some FACEIT link for you here. We got NA expert action tonight. Dhill is taking on NCSU Red. We're getting into week 6. We got 3 weeks remaining. I mean, we're looking at 6 games remaining for our expert division. Both these teams coming at 5-5. I mean, right on top of each other, the standing. Currently sitting at 18th and 19th. 16th will be the cutoff for playoffs. So this is the precious line. Each of these wins are going to become very, very important for these kind of middle of the pack teams. And of course, you know, minimizing how many of those L's you take here in these last 6 games is going to be so key. Right now, you got one team locked at 500 that's got a spot in 16th, in top 16. I mean, I think that's a pretty good way to look at it. Like, it's with how competitive this is, with how many teams are here, and that's, I mean, there's 35 teams, so top 16 should be above 500, and so that is the crucial mark for all these teams that are currently 5-5 right now, and an important head-to-head with 2 teams who really need to stay above 500. And I mean, that could be the difference on making top 16 or not. You know, with so many teams in expert division, making that top 16 is a big deal. To teams that have been fighting their way up and, you know, to prove themselves to be in that echelon of Overwatch teams, making top 16 is a huge tier to break through. Dhill's getting first pick here while I launch the game. That would be helpful. Hazard band coming in from the Donkeys. Reds starting in the red outlines. Okay, that lines up. Beautiful. Hadn't gotten either of these teams on in a minute. Excited to kind of get refamiliar with what they could do. I mean, I recognize, you know, names of some of these players, some of it just from hanging out in chat. Lucio Ban. When did we have them on? Here, I talked to Alex. And it was actually, that was the one and only time we did a pre-match interview, which was really cool. I'd never done a pre-match interview before. And we just kind of, so it was our first time getting CSU Red on, and Nelix just came on and just kind of introduced us to the team. We heard about a little bit of existing synergy between Aurora's maybe. So Nelix is hit scan, Aurora's is gonna be your tank here. Yeah, so we're not getting Aurora's starting. So Aurora's was the starting tank when we had NCSU Red on previously. Oh, as I say that, we see it changed. Room got messed up, and then we see Aurora has come in as I'm talking about that. So clearly there's some sort of roster issue that went on with the FACEIT page, and NCSU Red weren't able to get the starting roster they wanted in. So that just a little fix happening there. As we were talking about it, as I was kind of going back there, but I believe, go back to my original point, that it was Nelix and Aurora's that known each other prior to this team. I could be mistaken on that, though. I'd have to go back and re-listen to the interview. But yes, with Nelix and Oblivion going to be your DPS players. As I mentioned, Nelix being the hit scan, Bunkerchunko and Splice. It looks like they do have a new flex support that has come in since we last saw them. As we have Lobby in Lobby, as opposed to Bunkerchunko. So this is a change since we saw them back in week 1. I don't have much to go on with the Donkeys, so we're going to be kind of learning about them together here, friends. But it is time. We are ready. We got our players in. We got the lobby set. Let's get into map 1. Starting off on Oasis. Love that. I've been enjoying this map pool a lot, y'all. I really must say, I've been really enjoying this map pool. Let's get into map 1. Oh, I owe you some Preds. Let's get you some Preds. We got Donkeys. NCSU.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Look at that. Look at that timing. Look at that timing. Let's go. Let's go. What are we rolling out with? Waka Waka the Donkeys on the Diva. Run to take the high ground. I did adjust my audio a little bit in between streams, so I may need to adjust what y'all are hearing as well. Just bear with me if things seem a little loud. To be honest, things seem a little loud on mine. Kind of like it. Ah. It's as anticipated. The Dhill is, he's gonna have to be careful around that Orisa. Can't go toe to toe with the Orisa. As a matter of fact, can't anchor enough to contest this initial cap. But it is gonna be a dive into the back line alongside Frozen. Well timed, but a good played defense, including the immortality there. Whoops, random screenshot to lock in. Out of Nelix. We see the pull from Splice getting Oblivion out of harm's way. Well played from the back line of NCSU Red here in this first fight. Now, oh, beautiful shot. Lobby finds the middle of that helmet of Luca. And Red don't even give up the cap there as they're pursuing some exit picks. Nicely done, nicely done. Deadeye and Ant Matrix to hold on to this with that Ant Matrix. Yeah, that could be particularly dangerous. We did see Waka Waka make a swap over to the Orisa. Hunter, though, beautiful bola shot, clears up the immortality field, and then opens up Nelix, vulnerable to an ADS shot. We did see Lobby kind of buy some more time. Tree of Life invested here from NCSU Red. Heavy investments to hold this point, and they're losing players in the back. Splice in trouble. Oblivion's gonna try to bring him back with this blade. Dashes in to find Hudson. They can jump in the air and get popped by Lobby. But now Oblivion is getting chased by 3 members. Dashes into the pit. Unclear whether they got the Mega. I presume they did. But the Donkey's got the point. Oblivion's still hanging out down here. I'm unconvinced that my audio changes were a positive thing. It's just a little... oh, Frozen just got absolutely shut down by Nelix. I mentioned once in a lobby you can't really blade jacks. I think that was a blade jacks. Ooh. 90% Luca felt they needed to go ahead and invest that orbital ray, but that was the last hope for coming to recontest. Will be no touch. It's gonna be a great opener for NCSU Red. All right, so we'll do a test. I'm just gonna let y'all tell me what you think. All right, so there was one test. Now let's go to... yeah, I think I like this better. Overwatch's mix is just so good. I just need to give it to you flat. There's no point in me trying to do anything with... it's just the Overwatch mix itself. It sounds so good, just flat. All right. I mean, y'all let me know. I will consider. Always looking to improve the stream every day. Every day in every way. We try to improve our stream. Dhill Donkey's trying to improve their outcome here in round number 2, and I like the Dhill a lot more here. Oh, no, but that was putting it in a bad spot. Ends up getting chased. Frozen ends up with a couple of barrels pointed in their direction, and not enough deflect to go around. I love the pool used just for the iframes there. That's clever. First cap goes to NCSU Red. I think I'm just gonna call him Red from here on in. It's a lot simpler, you know? What happened to the St. Clair B&B? Stay at the St. Clair B&B? Whoa. Whoa. Good disengage there for the donkeys. The Matrix dropped in. Gotta watch out for this Kitsune rush. And that tree's used very early. Oh, they're just gonna go ahead and throw the rush right in. Thought they might try to wait it out, but with the Bob in the corner, ends up being a smart play. Down low. Hudson on a Sojourn and surrounded. Red Rook at the flip. Pretty much dead tied in percentage. Very even back and forth. Oh, that was a fat finger. I want to drop the question mark in chat. I'm so happy we got that on stream. I don't know why. we just happened to catch that. Just to guarantee, like, that was an absolute fat finger. All right, we're gonna get the Orbital Blade. You know, good for power and regeneration, but not so good for maneuverability. It doesn't end up having to dash out of the range, try to catch the Life Weaver. Nelix comes in with the save. Lobby there for a bit of backup. Everybody's just kind of bunched up in the corner. Waka Waka tried to defend. Frozen overstayed their welcome. They're able to escape. Well played. Even flipping the point underneath all of this. Waka Waka's escape interrupted by a very rude javelin there out of Aurora's. Self-destruct used to get back covered by the overclock. Here comes Aurora trying to push around the corner. There's a lot of damage pouring their direction. Aurora has bit off more than they can chew, getting past that cover. The Oblivion playing with fire up there, but you know, had the bail, had the splice pool. Oblivion able to sneak in. And in a dangerous spot here. Suzu used. High ground gained. That's about all they're going to get. And it's kind of swiping at some demons over there in the air. Swiping menacingly. Where'd that Bob go? Trees up. Let's check in here with Lobby. Looks like Kitsune Rush aiding in a good couple of kills here. We catch the end of Damien Dat with a very accurate kunai across the hallway. The pillars, the arches. Donkey's in a position to send us to a third map, but they're going to have to do it without their diva. What a great terror surge. Just as reinforcements are showing up. Well timed, and things are getting a bit messy. Orbital Ray tossed in. Hudson tried to use it just to muscle through Aurora's, get through that heavy health bar, and woken out both of the cooldowns from the Orisa. Can Frozen make good on that? 1, 2, dashes in, Orisa's down. That should be the donkeys cleaning it up. There it is. There's the yellow ring of victory. We're headed to round 3. I do have the power to drop the question mark in chat. It's true, Maddie. But that is not a power that I can abuse. It is one I must use responsibly. Honestly, it's pretty discouraged. And I've bent that role from time to time, but usually it's in the name of love.
4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
Waka Waka happy to get donkeys back over to the city center. Should be the most well-suited map for the diva pick. Oh, but losing Lobby that early. Losing Luca to Lobby that early. Disastrous. Beautiful headshot. That was a long-range headshot onto a Frozen that just appeared there. Luca, I don't know, didn't make the rotation or just got a little greedy in how they rotated. But either way, Lobby read it beautifully. Now, still we're getting donkeys with the positioning on the objective. And I kind of have Aurora surrounded. Aurora is going to go and leap in. Thinks they have a vulnerable Luca, and they in fact do. Leap use, try to pursue Hudson. Hudson low. Oblivion and Lobby there to help finish off that kill, and a very systematic first fight out of red. Surgical, if you want. Sorry, we're trying to go to some Frozen Pop over here. Bit of a flanker duel. Frozen finds themselves very outnumbered now. Did this open up the front door? Feel like everybody's stacked on that left side. Yeah, Donkeys are able to get in on the right and rotate to high ground, but Frozen does not escape the trap. Does this move pay off here for the Donkeys? They have to sacrifice one to try to get valuable high ground. They're going to drop down. Ooh. Oh, Damien Dapp. That was dangerous. Lobby salivating at the skull that initially popped. All it would have done broke the shield in the top, in that moment, but still. Oblivion with a blink up top will not get the pulse on target. Shield is there. Waka Waka is able to fend off Splicer. Should I say, cut out the legs from underneath red, prompting a cap from the other side. Now, can they keep everybody alive in the process? Here's the pursuit. Whereas an Oblivion will not find their target. Target? Whereas not finding their target. That's target with a lot of A's. Luca's still 20% away from what I think is really the only ult that's going to fend off this Kitsune rush. Might be able... Waka Waka may be able to just dance around center pillar, but this is going to be dangerous. Waka Waka's already low. They don't have the health to do anything but run up to the high ground. They are going to drop a self-destruct up there. Damien Dapp gets popped, though. Lobby admits that Kitsune is just... completing that, keeping that high ground under complete control. Very well-timed Kitsune rush. Waka Waka's in a bit of trouble here, and Hutch is going to try to bring this back. Drops out from the high ground, gets a skull. Oh, it clips the side of the wall. Now has to deal with Oblivion, who's got a poles dancing at their back. Lobby dropped in their own Deadeye. Tree of Life up in the middle of the point. Point-blank pulse bomb finishes off Hudson. Auroras will get the better end of the Juno. With just brick heals, this fight should not last much longer. And indeed, a swift cleanup there from Red. Flipping the point at 76% for Donkeys. Ooh, that was a three button camera move. All right. I was proud of myself. That one didn't go any worse than it did. Aurora is about backed into a world of hurt. I'm surprised Frozen didn't just toss the pulse in there. You know they thought about it. Aurora's had their back. Aurora Z, maybe actually. I'm sticking with Aurora's. Rally up here, try to assist, and will successfully do so in the tank fight for Waka Waka. They were nice and eye line there for Splice, as was Hudson. This one's going to a 99. Oh. When we're going to have Kitsune Rush. And a Deadeye available for Red. Going into some offensive ults on the other side, namely just this Deadeye. Waka Waka will get some sustain, assuming that they can get back and mech off of that self-destruct. Good devalue of the Kitsune Rush. Like the timing on that Deadeye. Lobby's going to respond, though, and here comes Aurora as an Oblivion pushing the issue. Great corral out of Lobby. Doing what a cowboy does best. Just put them little doggos right into the pen. Self-destruct will not get Waka Waka back in mech. Red come away with the gong of victory here on Oasis.
Play of the game.
Are you breaking again? It's fine. Very close map one. Whew. Hey, I mean, we knew both these teams want this. Nobody wants going above 500 and going below 500 is such a massive difference here. I mean, it's basically is the cutoff for top 16 right now. I expect that to stay the course through the end of the season. Neither of these teams want to go below 500, and it shows. Fighting hard. What a great opener. Circuit Royale pick out of Donkeys. They are going to go on the defense first. Imagine playing Control being able to go between all 3 points in a single... That'd be kind of interesting. Especially if it was like... teleporting or something. I don't know. It could be a fun, like, arcade mode. I mean, there's, like, Hardpoint, I believe, is what it is called in Battlefield. It's a similar concept. Something like that. I don't remember the name exactly, but Battlefield had a game mode like that. But obviously Battlefield was a much bigger game. Like, you know, enormous, tanks and planes, enormous maps. May. We will not see any May. Donkey's gonna batter out. Let's take a look at some stats. Y'all enjoy some stats. Let me go plug in that May Bam before I forget. What are we looking at? What stands out, friends? Okay, interesting. One thing that I just realized, and I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry I didn't realize this sooner. But Nelix was playing support. Nelix was playing hit scan for this squad when we first had them on. Moves in, just why this stands out is because moves in the support role and has 20. He goes 23 and 3. Like, ooh, okay. So we did talk about how they had one change, but it was putting Nelix into that support role. Sorry I didn't catch that sooner. Let's keep an eye out for that here in map 2. What was that band? Sigma. Sigma banned out from Red. Thank you, copyright free music, but that's clashing. I enjoy the circuit. I enjoy the map music in general. I'd much rather hear that. Let's get that Sigma band plugged in, and we'll get into map 2. I mean, it's just Flashpoint. But I mean, no. That's not true. The idea of having them all open simultaneously is not Flashpoint. That's not the way I was thinking about it. Was they were all open at once, and so you're kind of bouncing back and forth between the points all being unlocked simultaneously. That would be a very different game mode. So just to clarify that, I was not thinking like Flashpoint. All right, I got you some Preds in. Go me.
Stop the payload. We have company.
Eraser with the BAP Live Weaver comp. With a Somber and a Widowmaker. I really like this. I love the idea of it. Oh, there was a pull into the backline. Where was that? What's going on over here? What is going on over here? Hudson gets popped, but Aurora's got yanked all the way. Got yanked over the roof? Or got yanked from the backline as Splice flew in from over the roof, I believe is what happened. A really cool set play. I mean, you are missing your long-range pressure, but the Widow will get back into this shortly. Manual will hack onto Frozen. They are able to get that deflect out before taking critical damage, and Oblivion's now in a little bit of trouble. Trying to skirt around the back line. Finds the Judo, just has to go for it. Cannot get the trade. Ooh, actually does. The virus. We'll get a little post-mortem fatality. Little gift from the grave. Now, I mean, worthy trade. Defense missing their Juno. We're going to get Aurora's getting aggressive on the back of that. Beautiful shot finds Frozen. Now looks through. Where is this ant matrix? Okay, that was a bit of a. I don't know. Hey, you know what? Maybe it helped. Maybe it helped. Double DPS ults. Haha. Yes, Captain Sun included in that. Oh, you finally get Lobby. Lobby tried to peek at the very end of it. Hack does land on the Luca. They get yanked into the Terra Surge and finished off by Nelix. Cart dangerously close, but Frozen does stop it. Lamp used in a perfect moment. Keeps Aurora's alive, but isn't enough to survive through the Annihilation. The EMP tosses from Oblivion, and a Corey goes down. Nelix gets some work done out of the back line while keeping Aurora's alive. Lobby uses the elevator so they don't have to use their grapple. Keep that grapple on cooldown. Oh. The Galactic Ayaria weapon looks so good. It's my next purchase. It's my next competitive point purchase. It looks so good. All right. Oh, I was about to talk about that blade that Frozen was thinking about using. They're just going to have to keep thinking about it. Give me nothing more than an idea, a concept. There's still time for a recontest here. Cart still has a little way to travel. You can see Krakora's come back, blade in hand, and the orbital will get thrown in over top. Good deflect onto the shot out of Lobby, but the heals, the pull, oh, so good. Eventually is finished off as Frozen will find their prey, but it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade. Unfortunately, I think it's just it's a Sombra and a life waiver left. Oblivion just working up towards that next EMP. You know, it'd been nice they can get the trade, but real value there, just getting some extra ult charge very early before that fight's even started. Make them think about you, making me looking over their shoulder as they're, trying to move into defendo. You can see Hudson. Hudson's, half the brain is worried about what's behind him. Oh, that was the bubble supports. Kind of huddled up on top of the pedal. Served up on a platter. Fortunate to be able to dodge out of it, take minimal damage. Immortality Field does have to be used, as well as Tree is thrown in way in the back line. Not as much value as I think Red would have liked out of that, and Aurora's certainly feeling the mistake in that exchange. Lobby gets the 180 kill onto a Tracer, but that is enormous. Yeah, that's going to be big. Yeah, 5v5 would absolutely be too few players. No, I mean, that's why it works in Battlefield, right? Because it is like 43 on 43. Oh, Oblivion was hoping to be up to the EMP before this fight. Now gets shut down, trying to build up that extra 15%. Red had a good start, but the past 2 minutes have very much not gone their way. Since the Frozen Blade, things have been tough, and things are not getting any easier. Oblivion not able to get that EMP set up at all into this fight. Luca's going to drop in a Captive Sun over the top, and it's another defensive hole here out of the Donkeys. Oblivion, you still have time. Yeah. All right. EMP looks attempting to go up the gut. Doesn't quite get it set up, and they lose Nelix on the approach, but Lobby kind of salvages the situation there, getting Damien Dapp, and Oblivion comes in and is able to hold on to the EMP. So despite the setup getting botched from Red, they adapt beautifully, and some good shooting out of Lobby. You should get them over the line here. Ooh, we're gonna go for this. Bagore's going for this. EMP will get used. That will confirm the cap. Hudson choosing to invest in that. I mean, you know, it's one of the fastest building ults in the game. That's a good question. Is Bolo Shot faster building than Pulse Bomb? And I guess it would probably depend on if you're getting the final blows, like, or how many. There's probably an even better question. How many final blows? How many bounties do you have to collect to make it faster than Pulse Bomb? Does it just take one cycle, or does it take two? Double support ult available for Red as they look to push around this final corner. Pedal used to get Aurora's up to the high ground. Drops back down where a Terror Surge has been thrown in from a core. The Tree of Life will not protect Splice through that. They're not able to get on the good side of the tree. Pulse Bomb finds Lobby. And the defense with a brilliant turnaround here with 30 seconds remaining. I was a little worried. They gave up a lot of space, and it looked like they were kind of rushing to get set up on the high ground, and Aurora's almost got the drop on him up there. The defense is able to stabilize. Now I'm worried for Red. Can Red even get a final fight out of this? Oblivion? Oblivion makes it to the cart. Good pick from Oblivion to find the core. I mean, that's enormous. What an enormous trade. What an enormous play there out of Oblivion. This is going to buy a lot of space. What a hero play. That was huge. That was enormous. I was worried they weren't going to get the touch. They got the touch and a lot more. Bola Shot does find Lobby. Takes them out of Deadeye. Frozen is swapped over to a Widowmaker. Res just trying to get the Orisa out of the equation. Cannot. Frozen picks up 2 while this fight's happening, and that'll put an end to this push right there and then.
Score 0-2. Switching sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
That's only done 3 times. Fewest deaths so far in the lobby. Close to max damage. More damage than either Oblivion or Lobby on the other side. Leading the DPS for sure. Comes back on the Widowmaker. We'll see Lucas start off on the Yaris. At least what they're showing us here. Oblivion sticking with the Sombra on this defense. Ooh, and a very interesting, very high risk setup on this high ground. You could end up very isolated and separated from the rest of your team if this doesn't go well. But, you know, a lot of maneuverability up here would be Nelix that I'd be concerned about, not making it out alive. We'll see how this ambush plays out. We do have the Mega is hacked here behind Aurora's, as they're immediately going to take advantage of that. Good wall. Oh, just trying to break it. Aurora's turns around. And the speed ring used to disengage. Record is greeted by a manual hack, but is able to kind of bounce from cover to cover. Maintain some heals. Lobby has a pedal to play with and put shots down over the edge of this corner. You can kind of get a sight line over the corner of that balcony. So far, the The hold is working. They've still got Nelix on this high ground, and Aurora's has not been forced out of Mega Room yet. There comes the purple and beautiful pull. Now, can they get Nelix out? This is what I was talking about. Nelix is now in trouble. Immortality Field has to be used on themselves. Ooh, the trade is there! Oh no! The core push forward onto the front line. Hudson goes up to try to find the kill. They end up losing a couple of members in their backline. They will end up picking up Nelix and Oblivion, though. So the first corner hold has been broken, but it will take a little extra time to get all the reinforcements back in, giving the defense time to stabilize. Whereas, are you going to stabilize? Yeah, doesn't feel like the defense tried to kind of do another like 4-point setup across statue area. And immediately just all got forced to corner. Not exactly where they want to be. Terror Surge thrown in. Oh, but the Deadeye! The Deadeye finds 2 in the back? How does that happen? Huge bio nade. Nano has to be used on a Damien Tap, though. I don't know if that was a mistake or just to try to keep the Juno alive, but Bakura doesn't survive till the end. What a Deadeye there out of lobby. Thank you, Maddie. I feel like we need a command for that. That is really, really cool. Thank you so much for figuring all that out for us. I love that kind of stuff. But not by much. But not by much. By only, what is that, 65 ult points? Not by much at all. But still, Pulse is still the cheapest ult in the game as far as ult points. Another big hold here out of the defense. They're able to push up and this time get aggressive, stabilize here with 1 minute to go. Next question be, is Sound Barrier still the most expensive? Last I knew, Sound Barrier was the most expensive ult in the game. But I think that it was pre-Juno information. I don't know, Juno Ray may be more expensive. I'm not sure on that one. Mortality Field using the aggressive Nelix spot. Paying off with some big kills here with 30 seconds remaining. Ant Matrix ready to go, and this could be just a nasty place to put it. Vulnerable, but the angles here, the offensive pressure from that corner is just relentless. And it's so hard to deal with both sides. Donkeys do get the overtime going. They're going to struggle to get everybody to the huge downpour out of Aurora as it leaves. Oh, but just Bakura left on the objective. Still Donkeys will get full held on their map pick. Red move up to match point.
Play of the game.
Widow play of the game. Oh, Frozen. Not very often we get a Widowmaker play of the game on this stream. And the Donkeys hold, right? They put up a great defense. Unfortunately, they just get shut down. The hyper strangling composition and positioning. They're out of red. Did not leave any breathing room, right? They just kind of sucked all the oxygen out of the map. King's row pick now to Donkeys. See if they can start the old backwards janitors. Oh, and not to correct the math, but wouldn't that be a difference of 400? So it'd only even be a 30-point difference, not a 55-point difference between the two ultimates. With one round of your bounty, though. Erase a bit in here from the donkeys. We're also going to get a side swap. Oh, yeah, sound barrier was... It's not about longest charging. It's what's actually had the highest point total. Sound barrier was the longest. Like, the actual, as far as the ultimate cost, sound barrier had the highest ultimate cost for a long, long time. But that, like I said, that's kind of old trivia. You're saying Coalescence has a higher number? It actually has a higher charge, huh? Interesting. Makes sense with, like you say, with just how fast Coal charges already. It does make sense that they have to crank that number way high to feel balanced. Let's go look at some stats there for map 2. Ray does seem the most expensive. That's what I thought. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Orbital Ray was the most expensive nowadays. I knew they had to make Ray super expensive. It's just too damn powerful. And I know she puts out more healing than anybody else in the game, like by a long shot. Cole is 29, Beat is 2650. Okay. No, 2650. I think I want to say Beat was 2850 is what I was remembering. So that's, yeah. Ray is 3135. There you go. There's some good trivia for you, friends. And then, yeah, I'm not surprised Orbital Ray is the highest. That should be. It should be. It's the most powerful ult in the game. Period. I'd say most consistently powerful. Not like explosive power, but just consistent fight win power.
Ready for battle.
It was a Cassidy ban in there from Red. Get you some breads. Oh, it was 1375. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah. I was about to say, I feel like that math was... I didn't really realize that at first. I was trying to watch a lot of things at once. But then once we got into the break, I was like, wait a minute, that math does not math. No, I love this stuff. I love knowing this stuff. Thank you for keeping me up to date on all of these little things. I love these talks that you actually keep me honest on the Overwatch trivia and then all the little numbers. Because over the years, I've definitely lost track. I mean, I've tried to stay as detail-oriented as I can for 9 years, and I mean, stuff like the Sigma orbs, where I'm like, how much damage does a Sigma orb do these days? I have long forgotten. My mind, it was always 60. They just stuck at 60. And that was obviously not the case. Oh. Frozen cut down. Both teams going into these hazard comps. I mean, I've been seeing the wild and woolly tornado of action here at the front door. You know, neither team really taking much high ground. It has just been a tornado of action right in the choke. But so far, it has all come up defense. Saw Frozen first trying to get through, and looked like they got caught there on that right-hand side, not able to get out. Yeah, Pulse is 1375. Making Pulse is still the cheapest in the game, but there's the Bounty Hunter is the first time they've ever introduced a mechanic where you can actually increase your ult charge. Frozen gets caught once again. second time in a row they're the first to go down, but a lot more ground picked up. This time we get the high ground move. Kind of when I was talking about, well, alluding to, it was lacking a little bit on that first approach. Splice going down, not ideal. I mean, already lost Hudson throughout that fight. Oh, excuse me, lobby. Side swap, don't let it for you. Woo. All right, let's lock it. Let's lock in. I was not terribly locked in there for that first point, and I apologize. Good bolt lands there from yeah, that from lobby. Oblivion here on the venture. Oh, that was a big push. Didn't look like the rest of Red really kind of went with that, though. Oblivion does come out and decide to throw the Tectonic just through the choke. Try to dive in, follow up on it. Almost got punished for it. Sound barrier now tossed in from Damien. Able to avoid the downpour, but Hudson is not. Good pulls. Nelix is saved from the downpour. The other side, Aurora's ends up going down alongside that back line. And sorry, that was... And now it's everybody getting destroyed, but yes. It was the order on that, from where Aurora's downpour came in and the pull came out of it, but they pulled their own team. Anyway, it confused me. I'm not going to lie. We need to get a swap over to the bat break. Kitsune Rush, take the straight, approach this final quarter. You're still looking at a couple of DPS ults here to push this all the way home and into the Foundry. That OC will get popped from the top of the subway. Has the defensive Red isolated into a 3v2. Kind of swarming and taking shots at both sides. So Whereas he's looking the most beaten up after that. Frozen goes in to finish them off. Dashes through the tank. Finds 3 chops. Woo! And a nice dash through Splice. Got the Colat there on Oblivion and Splice with those first 2 hits. Those were some meaty, meaty chops on that blade. And the double DPS ults are doing it. Looks to be powerful enough. Raz holding on by a thread, but Lobby will get popped, and that's going to be the cap. Okay, it was 28. That's the last iron number I remember, to be honest, was 2850. Yeah, I'm telling you, it was... I think it must be, it was Overwatch when they made the Overwatch 2s, maybe when they made that swap. Because I swear it was more expensive than Coalescence in the Overwatch 1 days, for sure. Yeah, it's a little embarrassing that my numbers are that outdated. Hey, you know, we learn. That's what we do on this stream. Blade will, you know, force the entirety of Donkey's back with that ultimate, but does not find any picks. And they are going to return with a Kitsune Rush, investing nothing there to disengage from the Amp Matrix Tectonic Shock combo. Downpour caught Aurora's. The wall did not prevent the root, but did prevent a little bit of follow-up. I say that. Oblivion does go down. Now we're going to get that Kitsune Rush tossed in. Lobby does have an OC in play. A couple of shots land on the Waka Waka. Aurora's just leaps backwards and retreat, wall blocking the escape. Oop, let's go back into Hudson. Let's look at these attackers as they're rounding the final corner. Aurora's still scrambling for safety. Has not found it yet. Mini's not even there for them. Fortunately, Nelix has got the heals coming in from across the way. Cart rounds the final corner with less than 90 seconds. You got both those DPS ults up once again. Frozen embracing their inner demon, but forced to just chop at him in the air. Let's see if Hudson can find any more success with the OC. Splice does land the B. I thought Damien was going to get that pick for a moment. No, Damien runs into the wall and gets destroyed by Oblivion. Oblivion pops up in the back line. Gets the emerge damage. Finds Luca. Finds Hudson. Defense stopped the cart. Last chance for the donkeys. Down a tooth, they lose this map. They'll be below 500 in the season. Sound barrier used to engage. Nelix found immediately. Oblivion has another tectonic and catches Hudson. Point blank. Another big chunk of damage will land on the Waka Waka. They will drop, losing their ultimate in the process. Only one red outline left, and Damien Depp easily cleaned up.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
My focus video does not want to stay working tonight. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, did I not do this? No, I don't want to do that. Let's do this.
Ready for battle.
Oh, please tell me you're outly rolling out. Yep, they're running out of spot on a Torb.
Let's go. I've got a few new inventions.
That's an 8 and 5. They're on that attack, but it's enough to get it done. Does a lead there? Well, I was gonna say lead the DPS, but I mean, I'm looking at Lobby on the other side and Oblivion both have 7k damage. Oblivion coming out 12 and 5. Very close. Very close.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Headshot lands onto the peeking Hudson. Wasn't enough for the kill. Either that, maybe the Torb armor just negated just enough. It should only negate, like, what is it, like 10 health or something like that? They may even nerf its effectiveness. There's another number I'm not sure of. How much health? What is the breakpoint on armor now, since it's been changed so many times? Before it goes into just reducing it by half. Good catch from Oblivion on this attack. I mean, it is really good corralling. Very aggressive composition out from red. They're able to corral the donkeys back behind Hotel. I think Dap had the right idea trying to push out on the other side of Hotel and try to escape the confinement, but not able to find anything. Flawless first fight here. One and done on point A.
Stop the payload.
Oh, Beauregard. I love that line from Bap. He's like, feel free to join me. He's like, nah, looks like you got it, buddy. Whereas, wants to hold the high ground. Well, doesn't leap down just yet. Does eventually get forced off. We do have a tectonic shock in play here from Oblivion. Ooh, good move up in the high ground. That was chunky. Hudson goes down. Luca goes down. Kitsune Rush thrown up top. A parting gift there out of Luca. There's not enough players left to really get any value out of it. Another flawless fight. 2 fight wins, 10-0 here for Red in the opening of King's Row on their attack. Frozen close to Blade. Aurora's in a bad spot. No sleep forward. Sees the wall comes through. Ant Matrix is there. Is it a bait? Damien does get the sound barrier in, but Hudson's already dead. Frozen dashes through, gets the rest of this Blade up. Might be able to swing this. Gets 2 slices onto the back, but they have the healing regen. Are able to jump away. The Tree of Life keep everything stable on the front line. Donkeys find their first kill on the defense, but only one. Looking for a 4.5 minute hold. No ults currently online. Hudson the close at 70% towards an overclock. This battle for the high ground. So important. Auraz just leads it. Not even sitting on that center spot. Grabs the power position. They've got their BAP up on the center high ground. Big jump down. Not sure Luca wouldn't have gone in the pit, even if they didn't get finished off. The wall, that was a nasty wall. Oh my. And that just might be the gong of victory. 1 death on this attack from Red. And they cement themselves. They're above 500, moving to 6-5 on the season. With this dominant showing here over the Dhill Donkeys. Well played. Congrats, North Carolina State. Scoreboard. Give me some stats. Here's some background music. Let's go get that point on the board. Good changes from CSU Red. No. Nelix makes the move. Starts off on DPS. It's 7. 7 is the number on the armor now. Okay. Yeah, I knew it went back to the 50% damage reduction like old school. I just wasn't sure because it used to be 10, I think. I think it was 10 then 8 at some point in OG before they made the armor change. And then I know they adjusted the numbers when they reverted it back to the way armor used to work, to the 50% damage reduction armor. Which is, I mean, it was too delicate a balance. It was such a good change, but I couldn't remember what that number was. So that number, I knew they nerfed it. I think when they brought it back at 8 again, and then nerfed it immediately afterwards to 7. Anyway, what was I saying? What a good change there at NCSU is Red as well, with moving Nelix into that flex support role. Comes out 14-2 on that map. Fewest deaths in the lobby. Most damage of any of your supports, although not by a large margin. Really getting in the mix in all of these maps. And I mean, having particularly on this kind of poke heavy maps. I mean, when you got Nelix in the Baptiste in general, that was a really nice look. I think I'd give Nelix player of the match here. There you go, Maddie. You got this one. You get your points back. Just for that smart change, and looked really good. Some clutch immortality fields as well. Really nice timing. I think we talked about might have been an Ant Matrix or two that weren't max value, but all in all, a really nice change. And NCSU Red are in a good place. I mean, again, all important. Top 16. That's what they're looking for, and that's gonna, I think, require staying above 500. So we're still waiting on other matches to finish up, so this list is a little skewed at the moment. But they do move to 6-5, which is the important thing.